Has anyone ever told you, keep your eyes on the prize? Keep your eyes on the prize. I remember I was at sports day in primary school and I was on, selection running races, and I ran, and whilst I was running I was constantly looking around at who's in front of me, who's behind me, am I going to win, am I going to lose, all that sort of thing. And I remember my dad told me, Harry, don't focus on like where the other people are. What you should be doing is focusing on the finish line. You should be focusing on getting there as fast as possible. Keep your eyes on the prize. That way you actually do better. And I remember thinking, oh, okay. And I kind of went and did, some more races, and I did better, but, I still lost them. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your attention, not on your surroundings, not on your situation, not on the things that might make you lose or might make you not do well. Fix your eyes on the finish line. There's a bit in the Bible with Jesus and his disciples. His disciples are on a boat and they're crossing the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus isn't with them, and they're really trying really hard to kind of cross this thing, and it's really difficult. They would have been rowing really hard, and suddenly they see like Jesus walking on the water. Like, you might have heard this story. They see him walking on the water and they're like, whoa, what's this? And Peter calls out to Jesus. He says, like, Jesus, if that's you, like, tell me to come out towards you on the water and I'll come. And Jesus says, yeah, okay, come on, walk on the water. So Peter gets out of the boat and he walks on the waves. And whilst he does that, it says, he saw Jesus and he stepped out of the boat and he walked towards him. He's like, his eyes are on who Jesus is. And he actually says, if it's you, Lord, tell me to come to you. He's like, look, if it's you, Jesus, I'm gonna step forward. And Jesus says, it is. So he's walking on the water, but his eyes are on Jesus, and he's fixed on who he knows Jesus is. He knows who Jesus is. He's literally just seen him do other miracles. So his faith, his attention is focused on the fact that he knows who Jesus is. And so long as his attention is on that, he knows that he's not going to sink. Right? And then what happens is, it says, then he sees the wind and the waves, and then he begins to sink. Right? What happens is his attention goes from being fixed on the finish line to suddenly being aware of what's around him and how he might not be doing so well, and he begins to sink. And then in that moment he cries out, Lord, save me. And Jesus reaches out and grabs him and pulls him back up. And it says they get back into the boat. But Jesus says to them, he says, why did you doubt? He says, you of little faith, why did you doubt? What's funny though is that it doesn't say that Peter doubted specifically. All it said was that he fixed his attention like away from Jesus onto his circumstances. And it got me thinking, you know what? Faith, and having strong faith, is not about having some inward ability to kind of triumph over your situation and kind of sort yourself out and walk on the water and beat the people that you're trying to no, it's not about, because that's all about you. It's not about having some strong faith, because that's all about you. No, what it is about is having your attention in the right place. If you feel like you have little faith, if you feel like, what Jesus said to Peter, why did you doubt, you of little faith? If you feel like that's you, if you feel like you have questions, disappointments, frustrations, and you feel like those things discount you from being a Christian or make you unable to kind of believe or whatever, that's not true. Because it's not all about your inward faith, it's about where your attention is. I want to encourage you, put your attention to Jesus. If you know who he is, if you've heard the stories about who he is and what he's done, then fix your mind on those things. Think about those things. Wonder about them. Pray and ask God that if Jesus is who he says he is, then he'd let you come to him. And if you don't know who Jesus is, maybe you might have grown up in church and you still don't know who Jesus is, and that's entirely possible. Then I want to encourage you, take some time and actually really think about it, and actually try and work out, who is this Jesus? And once you've got a bit of an idea about that, then I want to encourage you to call out like Peter did, Jesus, if that's you, tell me to come to you on the wind and the waves. It's not about your strong faith. It's about your attention being in the right place. Keep your eyes on the prize. See you around.